everybody, Shannon and Karen with Wandering Out Yonder. Today we are going to share our Northern Lights experience as well as our 7-day itinerary while we were visiting Iceland. One of the biggest things we were hoping to experience was seeing the Northern Lights. On around day 3 of our visit, the cold, misty, cloud-covered weather started to clear up. We were able to see some sunshine, and that gave us all a lot of hope that we would be able to see the Northern Lights before we left Iceland. On the last night of our visit, the skies cleared up, that dark sky filled with stars and a beautiful bright moon, and our first glance of the Northern Lights. Not only were we graced with this beautiful cosmic show, but we were also able to watch it right from the back patio of the house we were staying in Selfoss. What an absolute treasure to see the natural phenomena, the swirling cascade of green light shifting and moving, and best of all was visible with the naked eye. Although it was so cold that night, we all bundled up in our warmest clothing and stayed out as long as Mother Nature was sharing her beauty. Bucket list complete. We packed as much as possible into the 7-day itinerary and our daylight hours. On day 1, we arrived in Iceland, and our goal was getting to our Airbnb as well as stocking up on some food for the week. After a very long day of travel, we were pretty tired and rested up for our adventures to begin on day 2. On day 2, we started out in downtown Reykjavik. It is the largest city in Iceland with many restaurants, shopping, and local sites, which included Rainbow Street, a true sign of joy and support for diversity. It makes you smile when you see it. The Sun Voyager, a large steel sculpture that is an ode to the sun where it faces north across the bay. Sky Lagoon, where we embarked on a soul-filling and relaxing journey of the geothermal elements of Iceland. On day 3, we decided to visit Thingvellir National Park and the Golden Circle. We first visited Carrot Crater, a spectacular crater that we were able to walk around the top rim and even down into the cone to view the lake. Next stop was a geothermal power plant. We actually didn't originally have this one on our plan, but we were glad that we had the chance to see it. One of the most important sites to visit for us in Thingvellir National Park was the Almannagjá Trail, which is the trail between the tectonic plates of Eurasia and North America, to see the views of the Oxara River and the scene of one of the Game of Thrones waterfalls. This was another bucket list item. We really enjoyed this day with the beauty of the mountains and the waterfalls of Iceland. We had lunch reservations at 3:30 in the park, so headed to one of the landmark stops prior to dinner, which was the Geyser Geothermal Area. We watched as the geyser erupted over and over again. An awestruck crowd surrounded it. Such a cool area full of bubbling, boiling mud pots. We would have loved to have stayed longer in the geothermal area, but decided to head out to feed our hungry bellies at one of Iceland's iconic restaurants, the famous Tomato Greenhouse restaurant. And last but definitely not least was the Gullfoss waterfall. We were losing daylight, but made sure to stop here to see this magnificent waterfall. It will just take your breath away. On day 4 of our visit to Iceland, it consisted of stops along the southern portion of the Ring Road. First stop, a town called Vík. It is a nice town on the southern coast, the location of many of Iceland's landmarks and the iconic church on the hill. We first headed to one of Iceland's beautiful canyons in the southern part of the country, a picturesque canyon with steep cliffs, stunning green grass and moss, and beautiful waterfalls flowing down into the river below. We next visited 2 of the black sand beaches. Our first black sand beach featured a beautiful coastal cliff, and boy was it windy. The next black sand beach, Reynisfjara, this particular beach features the cave and beautiful tall basalt volcanic columns. We were also able to view the sea stacks called Reynisfjara rock formation. These sea stacks can be seen from both black sand beaches. And last but certainly not least, we went to visit one of Iceland's glaciers. With just a hint of daylight left, we took the short walk to get up close and see such a spectacular glacier, and again, those winds nearly blew us away. On day 5, we decided to get off the beaten path and visit a local fishing village, views and landmarks, and area Baki. We then headed to 2 of the waterfalls that we missed to check those out, located on the Golden Circle, Brurfoss and Foxafoss Waterfall. Both an easy drive and an easy walk to view 2 more of Iceland's waterfalls, located again just off the Golden Circle. On day 6, we took the slow drive back to Keflavik to stay for our last night of our adventures in Iceland. We missed visiting the beautiful church on our second day in Iceland, so we made sure that on this last day we visited the church. The largest church in Iceland that provides 360-degree views of the city of Reykjavik and surrounding snow-capped mountains. I wanted to be sure to visit the giantess Troll Cape, and I am so glad that we did. Giganta was inside with a big toothy smile on her face, welcoming all her friends. On day 7, we flew out after spending the night in Keflavik for our next adventure to Sweden. Iceland has always been on our bucket list, and we were so glad that we made our dream come true. Thank you, Iceland, and the people of Iceland for sharing your beautiful country. Until next time.